Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and today we are going to be playing some Demo Spy. If you look at the lower left corner of the screen right there, you can see my demo man has a disguise on my Eyelander where it appears to other players that I am using the Persian Persuader. And today it's going to be yet another Demo Night video, just because I've been really enjoying this blended screen a lot lately, where it was actually buffed in the latest update for TF2, that being the Tough Break update, which in general kind of neutered a lot of different things for the Demo Night, that most notably included the Charge and just playing half Demo Night has become a bit more of a difficult option now because you have that slower weapon switch speed on pretty much anything that's a sword. Also the axe and the Ulpul caber, but we're not going to talk about that right now. The splendid screen, that which I'm using right now, has been given a 50% increase in the charge-recharge rate. Whereas with the Persian Persuader, it used to give you a 100% increase, but that was removed from that weapon altogether. The Persian Persuader is quite different now, but the splendid screen gives you a little bit of that extra edge and allows you to charge around a lot more often, which makes it far more superior to the charge now. Additionally, it also has a slight increase in the damage resistance you have against explosives, where before, I think it was like 15 or something, and they did like a 5% difference in the latest patch, so it's a little bit of an extra buff. I'm not really sure how much it would help you in the long run. All I know is that the only weapon that hasn't really received much change at all would be the Eyelander, which I'm using right now. The only change it was given was a slower deploying and holstering speed, and again, that applies for pretty much all swords, the axe and the caber. But the Eyelander continues to be probably the most rewarding sword that you can ever equip. This is kind of classic Demo Night, where it used to be you could run around with the Eyelander. Once you accumulate enough heads, then you will be just this absolute demo truck. You'll run around slicing heads off left, right, front, center, backwards, in all sorts of places where you would expect a head to be or you wouldn't expect a head to be. Maybe there's a head attached to a scout's behind, and you probably sliced it off of there. It doesn't really matter. All you need to do is collect heads. You'll get some health whenever you kill someone with it, and it also increases your max health until, I believe, 4 heads are acquired. And your run speed is also drastically increased, so you basically become about as fast as a scout, maybe a little bit slower, but it can make a huge difference because you become this sort of hit and run class, and especially with the effectiveness of the splendid screen now, it's so much fun. I used to think that playing full Demo Night was not a viable option at all, but the Tough Break update kinda helped with a lot of that. Of course, you have to consider all of the counters to the Demo Night that have risen over time. Mini-sentry engineers actually aren't all that difficult. If a demo man knows where a sentry gun is, then you can probably find different ways of taking it out, and because I have the Wee Booties equipped, I do get a little bit of charge turning, so I am able to track where some mini sentries are. But on this particular match, you can see I've only been coming across big sentry engineers, and that's usually quite a problem, but thankfully they rarely get an opportunity to actually level their buildings up. I think at the very beginning of the round, that engineer I literally just killed had a level 3 sentry, and over time he's been trying to build it over and over again. There's also this one other Texas man who's been trying to set up in the health pack room, but I'm just not giving him the benefits through all of this gameplay. It's kind of depressing, really. However, if an engineer is completely aware of what you're up to, you and your silly Eyelander shenanigans, then he can easily shut you down just by placing a sentry in one of the more inconvenient spots. That, of course, being the health pack room, which I've been constantly preventing that other engineer from setting up in, as you could probably tell. Of course, you also have other counters to consider. Pyro is a huge counter, now that the Charge no longer gives you that fire immunity. Even though I'm not really using it, it's worth pointing out that Pyros can always light a Demo Knight on fire. He can get those crit combos if he knows how to use a flare gun, and air blasting, especially around the bottomless pit, can be quite hazardous to your survival. You might die by falling into a bottomless pit. I don't know. I could go test that theory out at some point. Of course, you also have to consider scouts, which, in any situation, if they know how to stay out of your sword's reach, they'll just win that fight. A couple of meat shots planted right into your shield, and that shield will just break, and you'll have nothing left to use, so you might as well just impale yourself with the sword at that point. Of course, the effectiveness of the Demo Knight also emerges from what map you're playing on, and Nucleus is a pretty good map for full Demo Night, especially with the given shape of the map. Look at all these corridors that I'm running through, where there are like some formations of circles and semicircles that you can see. This whole map is just one large circle, I'm convinced. And with the slight charging turning that I receive from the booties being equipped, it makes it more convenient for me to get around the map and actually take a few heads. If I were playing half Demo Knight, I could probably try to be a little bit aggressive with using the charge and the slice attack. However, I won't have that charge turning, and I could easily be shut down by even a spy if he just so happens to slip right by my reach, and he could probably backstab me. That's definitely happened before, and it's really not a pleasant experience at all. So yeah, if you are playing on a certain map, typically King of the Hill does accommodate Demo Knights very well, because they're maps that aren't really too big. I'd say that Nucleus is kind of a mid-sized map where there's plenty of ammo kits to go around, there are a few prime health kits that you can locate, and you're not too far from spawn most of the time. There are plenty of different shortcuts you can take, such as over the midpoint, or under the catwalk where that medium health kit is. It's overall just a great map to play Demo Knight on, and I could probably test a few other maps in which this would be a pretty effective combination to use. And if you are successful in your Demo Knight quest, I congratulate you, because normally Demo Knight is seen as quite a joke class. You only have a sword and a shield to work with, and that can lead to a lot of disastrous consequences without any superior firepower. But if you know the map that you're on, and there are plenty of routes you can take to escape from danger, and possibly get a couple of cool assassinations against those dastardly enemy players, then you're playing Demo Knight right, and I suggest you try out full Demo Knight if you haven't. It's kind of like, in this case with the whole Islander thing, it's like I'm a kamikaze from Serious Sam, only I'm a lot more stylish with this top hat, and I don't carry bombs around. I actually happen to have a sword. But I think you get the general gist of it. If I were using the caber, then it would probably be a completely different situation. But that is going to be the end of this video right here, just showing off one last clip on a second match that occurred after the whole Demo Knighting incident. And I just want to thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day or evening, and I guess I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Victory.